The world around us changes very fast. Skills, knowledge that we gain in schools, universities, they become obsolete practically the moment we step outside of the graduation hall. Then it takes years to bring those fresh university graduates up to speed that they can bring value to your company. Unless you start working with them before they graduate. How is that possible? How can companies attract better talent and maintain their competitive edge? This is what we will be talking with Shan Loy, our colleague from Singapore. Introduce yourself, please.
Hi, my name is Shan. I work at the Singapore Kaspersky office. What I do on a day-to-day basis is I manage the academic relationships, academic partnerships between Kaspersky and the universities. Besides building relationship with the professors, I work with them closely on curriculum development. I work closely with students as well on student conferences, hackathons, competitions, CTFs, etc.
I know from the previous episode we featured on our channel that food plays an important role in Asian culture. What about yourself? Do you like cooking?
So cooking, actually the hobby of cooking came out of this COVID-19 situation because for the longest period of time we were all working from home. So I developed this hobby out of necessity because you're running out of ideas and stuff. So then I turned to cooking. It's actually quite therapeutic during this period. I don't have the best dish yet. I'm not that good. But my favorite ingredient is eggs because I think they're very versatile, they're very easy. So yeah, I really like working with eggs because you can boil them, fry them, so many ways.
So you like eggs. This is very, very much like philosophy, the ab-over paradox. Does that really help in your work?
Yeah. So about cooking, about cooking together the perfect partnership, I always like to use this analogy. At the end of the day, you get back home, you open your fridge, and you see whatever ingredients you have, and you try to put a meal together with that. So likewise, for partnerships, I feel it is about working with what we have, whatever resources we're given, whatever business objectives we need to fulfill, and then using whatever we have to form a partnership, to convince a partner, or to work together with a partner, or to complement a partner with whatever their requirements are, or perhaps if we have certain resources, whereas they have certain other resources that we can match together to form a working partnership. So I see it very closely. The similarity between cooking and a successful partnership, it really is about thinking on your feet and putting together what you have to make the best out of it.
Why would businesses need to work with universities? What do they gain from it?
Very good question. Internships are definitely important for us because it is where we get fresh blood, brightest minds, so that when they join us, we are able to continue to maintain our leadership position in the market by developing the best-in-class products. So that is why internship is important to us. So when they come in, we groom them as they progress through the years with us. So we see that as I see internship as very much a win-win situation. So of course, to get the best interns, you need to have a good relationship with the universities, right? You need to know where the good students are, what are the outstanding professors researching. So you need to constantly be updated on these things. Now, to cast the picture wider, aside from just talent and manpower, having an internship program also helps us to do our part for the ecosystem that we belong in. In the tech ecosystem, as we all know, it is not just a tech company that needs, it's just not a cybersecurity company that needs cybersecurity talent, right? All forms of tech companies or banks or logistics or supply chain needs some form of cybersecurity talent as well. So for us to help build students via the internship program, or to help partner universities strengthen their curriculum through sharing of our content, all these are ways that we can help to strengthen the global talent for cybersecurity, as well as do our part for the ecosystem and community. So again, we get a win-win situation out of our partnerships and our internship program.
Do you think that businesses also form the global talent pool?
I think we definitely do our part to contribute to the global talent workforce, simply because we can't be taking in all the talent through the internship program and keeping everyone, right? At some point in time, through different life stages of the individuals, they might choose to move out of Kaspersky, maybe because they are moving place, they're moving to somewhere far away, they want to come to Asia, for example, to experience, or they want to move to other parts in the world. So I think that we definitely help to contribute to the global talent workforce through, again, our internship program, as well as the fact that we also contribute content to universities, who then share our content with their professors and students. And not forgetting all this internship program has a very strong peer-to-peer knowledge transfer component. So for example, we are starting up an internship program over in Asia Pacific this year. And so as you can see, there will be a very close working relationship between the interns here and their counterparts over in Moscow and other parts of the world as well. So there definitely is a connectedness in terms of the global, in terms of us contributing to the global workforce.
And what do candidates look for? What makes them select a tech company?
Oh, good question. Based on my chats with university students at this moment in time, if we're talking about just internship, they are looking to work in quality projects. They are looking to achieve or learn knowledge and skills on the job. For example, like what you say at Kaspersky or another tech company, they want to learn skills and learn anything through maybe new technology, etc. By working on quality projects. It's not so much that the pay that they're concerned with, that is secondary, but more about being able to work on quality projects, learning from mentors, being inspired. Because now they just started on their career, right? They want to find a good mentor whom they can learn from and model after. And most certainly building their own network, whether it is a peer network or whether it is a network of inspirational mentors. So I think these three are their key concerns: the quality of the projects that they get to work on in order to learn relevant skills, the type of mentors that they can model after, and last but not least, a network of peer individuals in the same industry or even in a different department where there is cross-functional learning. So I think these three are key for them.
Does size matter? Do small companies and large businesses alike can work in this way?
I think partnerships of this nature, if we're talking about university partnerships, I think partnerships of this nature benefits both enterprise as well as small businesses. So perhaps we start by talking about startups, right? We all know startups function with very, very limited resources. So what better way for them to achieve their objectives by working and collaborating with someone? It can be another startup with complementary services and products, or it can be with a university that's able to provide them with some support. And likewise, the startup needs to be able to reciprocate by providing the university with some form of support. In terms of enterprise, I would think the benefits are two-way as well. These sort of partnerships with schools, definitely they value an enterprise partnership because, again, it is valuable business insight that are up to date to complement the academia content that they are delivering to students. I think the worst scenario for universities would be to be outdated, especially in this time when the speed of information transfer and knowledge transfer is so fast. So definitely partnerships benefits both enterprise and small businesses as far as deriving win-win situations to achieve objectives on both sides, especially with limited resources.
How do you find an attractive university? I mean, out of all this stuff?
So, okay, I mean, there's the easy way out, right? There's something that everyone can find on the internet. We look at rankings, right? We can always just go up to a ranking website and say, okay, the top 10 ranked universities. But to delve deeper into that, sometimes it's not just about the rankings, because it is also about the different niche areas that different universities have. For example, certain universities are stronger in tech, certain universities are stronger in liberal arts, and then of course there are some universities whose strength lies in business subject. So our approach is, of course, let's go through the rankings, but also let's look at what are the universities with niche areas that matches ours. For example, cybersecurity, or is it AI, or automotive cybersecurity, for example, etc., etc. So of course we have some form of criteria, and then subsequently we will approach the universities to see if there are some projects that we can collaborate on, or if we can co-organize certain student competitions, etc. And certainly, on top of all these, let's not forget the power of social media, student networking. As we know, a lot of times nowadays, student networking happens outside of school. Student networking happens aside from whatever is happening in school. So that is also one part that we have to manage and be very much aware of. How do we connect to these universities via different avenues, not just through the traditional mode of looking at rankings and looking at their research interests, etc.
What would you do if the university would not want to cooperate, like, at all?
Oh, I just sit at their door and beg them and cry and no, I'm just kidding. Okay, we don't do that. If they do not collaborate, we should always find out why. What are the concerns behind the objections? Because at the end of the day, universities will always be favorable, I would say, to want to collaborate externally with the industry. Why do I say that? Because for universities, for the longest time, they are focused on academia. So to increase their advantage in terms of their standing with potential students who are coming in, they need to have an edge. And what better way to increase their edge by working with industry? So I think fundamentally, all universities would like to work with some form of industry, some company, some corporates, which is who are right there tackling the problems at hand. And universities generally welcome that. However, if they don't want to work with us, then that really is an interesting point to delve deeper and to find out their concerns as to what is the real reason, why exactly are they hesitant. Is it because They have too many of the same type of industry partners, for example. So then, if that is the case, then we examine how can we complement our program with theirs to make sure that there is no duplication. So I think these are the areas that are important. But hey, of course, if you throw a tantrum and then they let you in, why not? Again, I'm just kidding.
The region you work with, really huge. I mean, how do you cope with all this time zone difference?
Wow. First, you need to have a functioning alarm clock and you need to be really disciplined and make sure that you don't get the time zones mixed up. Because right now I'm working between Australia time zone, India, as well as Moscow. So yeah, you just really have to set your reminders, make sure your alarm works, and just turn up at every meeting. Be punctual.
Do you ever get tired from talking to people? Communication fatigue, maybe?
Oh, definitely. Sometimes after a whole day of meeting, I just don't talk at home. And my parents are just wondering what's wrong, what happened, why is it? But sometimes, yeah, I just can't speak anymore. especially at this period in time, right? We have a lot of meetings online. Sometimes it's back to back. Sometimes that you experience a lull and there isn't that much meetings lined up, but sometimes you just have meetings back to back. So I definitely have communication burnout. After a day of meeting, sometimes I just don't speak. I'll go for a run or a walk in the neighborhood, and I'll feel better after that.
Imagine there is someone who would like to be a successful negotiator like yourself. What kind of skills would you advise them to develop?
Okay. Definitely stop talking. Don't just go in there and want to present and present and present. No. In fact, I would say start by listening. Listening to what the business partners' pain points are, listening to their concerns, and of course, what do they hope to achieve out of the partnership. And then start talking, So first, don't make the mistake of just talking and talking. Listen first. Listen to their concerns, etc. And then do your homework and then present a best plan. And we don't stop learning. You have to continuously learn and build successful case studies based on every individual business partner. The collaborations might be different, the projects might be different. So always build on and learn and build, and so that these resources serve as valuable learning points and materials for yourself and in your team. And it will be good to share and with your team members so that you guys can fine tune and learn and improve as you go.
Thank you very much. Thank you.